Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have the best perfume in the entire world to share with you guys. I know that's a bold statement. I think 200 perfumes last time I counted after I did all those declutters that I did. I think I may have a little bit over 200 now because I have bought a couple perfumes you guys are going to be seeing in future hauls, but it's like at about 200. Out of the 200 that I own, this perfume is now in my top 5, and I haven't even had it for that long. It's been at the top of my dream perfume list for so long, and I finally got my hands on it. Now let me just throw out a quick disclaimer before I actually get into this video. This entire video, yes, I'm going to be talking about this fragrance. And I know you're probably thinking, like, do you really need to talk about one perfume for like 20 minutes? Yes, because I'm that obsessed with this fragrance. Like, I could have just included it in a haul, and I probably will, but it needed to have its own video. I discovered this kind of randomly in a Sephora, and ever since then I would go and smell it all the time. And for a minute there I was on a perfume no buy, so I didn't let myself have it, and I knew that my birthday was coming up and all my family members were asking me like, what do you want? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ask for this perfume. And so my parents actually got this perfume for me. Also, speaking of my birthday, on kind of an unrelated note, let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing like a what I got for my birthday type of video. I am obsessed with those types of videos, like what I got for Christmas, what I got for my birthday. I love to watch those types of videos, but I don't want to make it if I'm going to get comments saying like, oh, you're bragging or whatever, because that's like the number one reason why I kind of steer clear of making those types of videos. But I also just love watching them. So if you guys truly love watching those videos and, you know, don't think anything much more than that, let me know if you want to see that type of video. I would definitely love to make it. This perfume smells so good. It is actually a perfume that smells a lot like one of my all-time favorite scents, which is actually a body spray. If you've been following me, I knew I was gonna make this video at one point, so I was trying to kind of keep it on the low, but you guys, a lot of you already kind of know what this perfume is because a lot of you were guessing, and a lot of you were guessing right. So a lot of you guys already know if you've been keeping up with my channel. But I've been mentioning and kind of hinting at this perfume and how much I loved it, and I was so excited to share with you guys. I received this on my birthday, which was April 7th, so it's been a minute now that I've had this. I have been using this perfume so much. No matter what perfume I'm wearing that day, I feel like this is like my sprinkle on top. Like if I decide to wear something other than this, I will still just find a way to put it on because I just love it, and I think it mixes with everything. And I feel like I'm talking about this perfume in a way that makes it sound like this video is like heavily sponsored. Let me just clarify, this video is not sponsored whatsoever. I did not receive this for free. I paid for this. Well, I didn't pay for it. My parents got it for me, but yeah, I'm not being sponsored. Now, if this company, which I'm about to speak about, does want to sponsor me, that would be great. I love your fragrances, especially this one. If you could send me like 20 of these, that would be great. With all that being said, I've made you guys wait for too long. Let me get into what that perfume is. My favorite perfume as of lately is Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy. This perfume has literally just changed my life lately. This has been the best perfume discovery that I've had in a very long time. I feel like the last time I was this excited about a fragrance discovery was when I found my Narciso Rodriguez Rose Musk. What is it called? It's like over there, but I don't remember what it was called. That is like one of my all-time favorite fragrances, also in my top 5. But that was like the last time where I discovered a fragrance where I truly was like, I need this in my life forever. Now I basically feel the exact same way about this fragrance as well. So we're gonna get into all of the notes and all of that. I'm wearing it today and I can strongly smell it. I do have one other Jo Malone fragrance in my collection, which is my Peony and Blush Suede, which I sort of recently-ish hauled, and I told you guys how much I loved that. If I knew about this fragrance at the time of me getting this, then I would have totally gotten this one instead of this, but I just did not see this. I got this at like an actual Jo Malone counter, and when I saw this, I didn't see these other ones. I just saw these perfumes that are in the clear bottles. And the way I discovered this was because I was in Sephora, and Sephora actually had a display of this out. So that's how I was able to kind of get familiarized with this fragrance. Every time I would go into Sephora for like a good while there, I would spray this all over me, and I could not stop talking about it for the rest of the day because it just smelled so good. One thing that I don't really love about Jo Malone fragrances is just their lack of performance for the price point that these fragrances are, which is by no means cheap. And that's another thing. These ones in kind of the regular clear bottle, they retail for $155, whereas these ones that are in the solid, they look solid, but it's not. This is actually a red. I feel like it looks like it's a black bottle. It's actually a not really opaque at all. It's a pretty transparent bottle, but it is a red color. You cannot see it. I will put up a picture of what it actually looks like. But when the light hits it, you can definitely see the red in it, which is why it's called Scarlet Poppy. But these ones that are in these darker bottles, they actually are a little bit more. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if all of them are cologne intense, but if I had to guess a reason, that's probably why, because I guess they're stronger fragrances. And I will say they definitely are stronger than these bottles. I don't really have too much of an issue with this perfume lasting as much as I do this one. This one I get about like not even 3 hours. If I really overspray, I could like push it. But with this one, I still overspray because that's just how I wear my fragrances. But with this, I can definitely get about 5 to 6 hours. Sometimes honestly even more. I've worn this on clothing and then gone back the next day and I can still smell it on my clothes. So these ones are a little bit more pricey, but they do last a lot longer. So, you know, at least they give you that. But it's just like, why does it have to cost more for a fragrance to do what it's supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like the fact that it costs more doesn't mean that it should last more. It's like a fragrance should just last, period, no matter what price point that it has. I think my huge obsession with this fragrance kind of bases off of the fact that I am so obsessed with Velvet Petals by Victoria's Secret. And I feel like ever since I've talked about this fragrance for the first time, ever since then, every time I talk about it, I feel like I always say how much I would love a perfume version of this because I wear this all the time. It is one of my most complimented scents. It's kind of like almost like a signature scent of mine. And I feel like I've just been a broken record with how much I say that I want a perfume version of Velvet Petals because I'm just so obsessed. And that is Scarlet Poppy. Scarlet Poppy is the perfume version of Velvet Petals, but it does smell more high-end and just a little bit more red, just a little bit more sexy. This one is a little bit more, I guess, not juvenile. I mean, it kind of is, but it's a little bit younger and it's a little bit more fruity, I think. Whereas this one just has a lot more of that rich perfumey quality. But the scent profiles are almost identical, which is the exact reason why I have been using these interchangeably every time. I mean, not every single time, but almost every single time that I wear this perfume, I wear it on top of my Velvet Petals. I need to pick up a lotion of Velvet Petals. I can't believe I don't already have a lotion of Velvet Petals, but I feel like I'm pretty sure I don't. I definitely need to go pick one up because I can't imagine how good it would be to layer on the lotion and then the mist and then my Scarlet Poppy. Like, this scent is just on another level. So now with all that said, let me get into the actual notes that are in Scarlet Poppy. So this perfume has top notes of ambrette, middle notes of orris, fig, and poppy, obviously, and then base notes of tonka bean, heliotrope, and barley. So as far as the note breakdown and as far as like what I can smell out of it, I feel like I can definitely smell that fig, and it has this like really strange, almost, I don't know if I can call it woody, but just this weird, strange vibe to it, which is like, I'm saying that in the best way, that I think is coming from the ambrette and then the orris. And I definitely do smell a hint of that poppy as well. I kind of grew up around poppies. Where I lived in Albania, there always was a bunch of poppy flowers everywhere. And when we were kids, I feel like this is so specific to where I live. Like, I don't know if anybody else has done this. Maybe if you are Balkan like me, maybe you know about this, but we used to make little dolls out of the poppy flowers. And I don't know if that's a thing. I probably sound crazy right now. If I can find a picture of what I'm talking about, I will. We would pick a little poppy flower and we would turn it into like a little doll somehow. It was just like a little like tradition that I had that my grandparents showed me when I was little. So that like has always stuck with me. So I kind of remember from that what poppy smells like because I'm very familiar with like what it looks like, and I feel like I can definitely kind of smell hints of that in here. And I think that also just adds to why I love this, because there is like a level of nostalgia in here for me. And you know how much I talk about like my home country and all of that. You already know like how nostalgic I am, so anything that kind of takes me back to that time, I'm just like I'm automatically love. And then I definitely smell the tonka bean in here. It adds like a level of creaminess and also depth in this fragrance. So that's kind of like my breakdown of this. This perfume is literally like femininity in a bottle. It is so beautiful. It's so feminine, and literally one word to describe this, it's beautiful. I highly recommend, if Jo Malone has perfumes in your local Sephora, go into your Sephoras or go into like a Saks store near you or a Nordstrom, or if you have like an actual Jo Malone store. But I just highly recommend you go and smell this perfume yourself. Not just smell it, but like put it on your skin, test out how it like smells on you and all of that, because truly this perfume is so amazing. It takes a lot for me to be completely enamored by a perfume, because I have so many and I've smelled so many that I feel like when I smell a perfume, I'm like, oh, okay, like I've smelled this perfume before. So it takes a lot for me to really fall in love with the fragrance like I have with this one, and to just really be so surprised by it in such a good way. And that's just what happened with me in this perfume, and I'm so excited to have my hands on it. I will be using this so much. I cannot wait to kind of try to test it out with other layering combination and other like body mists, or layer it with other perfumes in my collection. But for right now, because it is so new, I'm just kind of enjoying it on its own. That is all I'm going to say. I'm going to wrap this video up now here. I'm sorry, I know I already told you the disclaimer in the beginning of this video, but I was gonna talk about this in just like a perfume haul and just kind of like mention it, but I felt like I couldn't do that because of how much I love this perfume. I had to just make an entire video about it. Also, I feel like I've been kind of like building up the tension on my channel, because I've been saying in so many videos that I discovered like my favorite perfume of all time, but I was not exaggerating, honey, because I really did. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this weird video dedicated to this. I feel like this video was like a love note from me to this perfume because of how much I love it. But anyways, if you guys have Scarlet Poppy, if you've smelled it, if you have it in your collections, let me know if you guys are just as enamored with it as I am. And if you haven't ever smelled this, I highly recommend you go into the store, wherever they have Jo Malone in your area, and smell this perfume. Either get a tester or just spray it on yourself, whatever. Test it out and come back to this video and let me know your opinions, because I need to know what everybody thinks about this perfume. Because if anybody says that they don't like it, I don't know what I'm gonna do. That is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!